taking it to the sky. I'm never taking a break, I'm only taking what's mine. You say it's taking too long, I'm taking that as a sign. It's not a matter of faith, just a matter of time. Never look back, if something's standing in my way, I always push back. When something seemed impossible, I never took that, nah, cause now I know better. Can't stop, won't stop, I won't quit ever.
The waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
The deepest waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time. I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
I think the cup format is very good for us because we had the chance to play a lot of tournaments, and also good for the new teams because they can prove themselves that they can compete at the international stage.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the sixth and final game for day one of the group stage. For Group A, particularly, by the way, it is going to be Philippines' first seed, MSK, versus the sole representative of Singapore, Resurgence. That'll be taking the stage for this final game of the day. Of course, before we talk about what happened earlier, and of course heading into this game and what it means towards the end of the day, we are going to be introducing ourselves as your casters. I'm Arctic, and with me is Chisto.
Yeah, and of course, Arctic, you did mention this is the last game for today and the final chance for MSK, our first seeds, to at least pick up a win for day one.
But I don't know, man. At this point, with 2 losses down for MSK, I feel like it's definitely one of the unexpected upsets of the day. A lot of expectation heading into this tournament, but towards the end, finding themselves at the bottom. So this game right here, very, very crucial, because if they drop this, it makes it all the more difficult for the team to potentially make it to the top 4 heading into the big event at Mall of Asia Arena.
Yeah, you know, you get that feeling that if MSK do go 0-3 on the first day, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to actually make it out of the group stage. But considering that they are facing Resurgence in this one, it's actually looking like a bit of a possibility here, Arctic. So it's up to MSK right now. The ball is in their hands. They need to step up for this game if they want to have a chance to make it all the way to the main event, like you mentioned.
Exactly. And with the performance that we saw from Resurgence earlier, currently sitting at 1-1. So a little bit undetermined as far as where they stand in this tournament. So let's go ahead and check out what those standings exactly are. Of course, sitting comfortably at first, undefeated on their first day here at the group stage of Globe Conquerors Manila is Ascension Gaming, first seed of Thailand, followed by the Seoul team Singapore Resurgence, sitting at 1-1. We'll find out if it's going to go 2-1 or 1-2 towards the end of the day. Team Anything, of course, towards the end of the day, and their day 1 performance with a 1-2. And of course, Minaski, fortunately at last place, sitting at 0-2. Will it go 1-2 or 0-3? Of course, Filipino fans definitely hoping for that 1-2, but we'll just have to see with how they perform against the Singaporean squad right here.
Yeah, you know, Arctic, looking at the standings, I'm pretty sure the Ascension players are really happy with the results for today, and they'll be going home, gonna have a nice sleep for the rest of the day. But as for Mineski, I feel like the best scenario for them would be to pick up one win here, which would leave 3 teams with a 1-2 standing. But unfortunately, if they do drop this game, things are gonna look pretty difficult for them moving forward.
Without a doubt. And of course, that's not a position you want to be in. Even though, let's say, this is just day 1, they still have a chance given that this is a double round robin. At the same time, you want to rake in as many wins as possible, even by this day 1, just so that heading into the second time you're facing these teams, it gives you a little bit more ease that you banked in on those wins. So, I don't know, guys. We'll just have to see, of course, to the Filipino fans and Singaporean fans. Be sure to reach out, give your energy to your favorite teams right here. So, looks like we're going to head on to it into the drafting phase.
Yeah.
We'll be going so that we see how things transpire once again. Resurgence versus Mineski. Resurgence on the blue side, Mineski on the red side. Let's check out these bands right here.
Yeah, so Talia will be the first denial here from Resurgence. They are playing on blue side, so they do have the luxury of first pick. Now, one interesting thing here is both these teams are, I'm looking at the top lane, both Shinsekai and Kaigo have been camped through all of their games for today, so I'm really wondering which team decides to play around that lane more so that they can at least get their top laner in a favorable position moving forward.
Interesting enough though, looking at the bans coming out from Mineski, a little bit more focused once again towards Kra here, so it has been a bit of a constant. I mean, I recall way back during the earlier game against Team Anything, it was more of supports that they banned out. Looks like the same trend gonna follow as they head up against Resurgence right here. Zoe, though, will be the last ban, so somewhat recall of those exact bans that we saw earlier.
You know, I'm having flashbacks of Shinsekai's Aatrox game right now. He didn't have the greatest early game, guys. He was 0-4 before 10 minutes, but looks like they won't want to deal with that yet. Just gonna hover it for the quick laughs, but Trundle will be the secured pick here by Resurgence. Let's see how Mineski decides to respond. You know, interestingly enough, Resurgence decided to ban the Nocturne on blue side, which was one of the picks that really worked out very well for them during their comeback victory against Team Anything. So I wonder why they decided to veer away from that pick. As for Mineski, it looks like they are going to be the team that picks up the Aatrox for this game. Hopefully, he doesn't die as many times as Shinsekai during his run with that champion. Kindred as well going to be secured here by Mineski. Now, I'm looking at the choices here for Resurgence. Definitely a lot of power picks available. If you lock in the Gangplank here, it will mean that the Trundle will definitely go towards the jungle position. Of course, he will know what his matchup is already. It will be the Kindred. What does Resurgence decide to go for? It will be the Pike, which Cross showed up on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, his game, I think it was legendary at one point as a support, so definitely a great pickup here by Resurgence. Let's see what they decide to go for. Possibly gonna look to pick a champion here for the bot lane. It will be the Ezreal, so gonna go safe here. Ezreal and Pike, not that high of a kill pressure in a 2v2, but headed to mid game. That's a pretty scary duo.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile, Mineski, no hesitation whatsoever, gonna be locking in that Morgana for themselves. So, I guess this kind of goes back to why we, if I'm not mistaken, we did see a Morgana ban earlier, which was directed towards Mineski.
Yeah, of course, Mineski Hammond is big time Morgana player. Let's see what Mineski decided to ban here. They will remove the Orianna from Raven, so less safety in that mid lane. We're really going down the tier list as far as what strong mid laners are still available, with Zoe and Orianna not here. Ryze could be a possible ban here for both teams if either want to play them. I feel like Resurgence are obligated to ban the Ryze, considering that Mineski are going to be the team that picks first after the second banning phase. Jhin will be the ban here by Resurgence, not wanting to deal with that range.
Not at all. I mean, Imagine a Jin combined with a Morgana. That's gonna be locked down for days. But looking at that last ban for Mineski, wondering if it's gonna be once again dedicated towards Raven in the mid lane. Still quite a number of options open for his taking, in which case, but looks like it will be the Gangplank that was hovered over by Resurgence.
Okay, now I'm thinking that Resurgence have to ban either the Varus or the Rise, because I'm predicting that Mineski will either go for that. Okay, Varus looks like the highest possibility here for Mineski. Then they leave the counter pick for Exocen in the mid lane. Varus would make the most sense here.
Wondering what they'll go for here though. Looks like hover over.
Oh wait,
Lucian.
I'm actually trolling. Varus is banned.
Oh right.
I'm trolling. Okay, my bad. That's my mistake. So Varus is apparently banned. That's something I missed. So Swain will be the pickup here by Mineski.
Ooh. Swain right there. So interesting enough with a Swain locked in. So unless, but I highly doubt that they'll be sending it for.
What are your thoughts,
Exocen.
Arctic?
Let's go ahead and check out what Resurgence is before, while I kind of get my composure there.
Same.
Nar gonna be locked in for Resurgence right here for Shinsekai. Gonna be bringing that head to head with that Aatrox. So what we're still yet to look for here from Resurgence is what they'll be giving to Raven right here.
Yeah, they're looking for a mid laner that can possibly deal with the Swain, because Mineski could easily flex that depending on which matchup they get.
True.
Azir would be okay for their draft. He will be the secured pick here for Raven. Now, Mineski have to decide whether or not they send the Swain to bot lane or just put it in the hands of Exocen. I have to wait and see. There are quite a number of picks still available.
Are they gonna let the birds fly in the mid lane if it is indeed a Swain mid lane, or are they just gonna juke it over to Gary and pick something different for Exocen? The Rise, as you were kind of mentioning earlier, gonna be the hovered over from Mineski. Is that gonna be the lock in? Yes, it is.
Alright, so it seems like the lane assignments for Mineski will be Rise in the mid lane. They're gonna put Swain and Morgana bot lane. If one of these skill shots from either of these champions land on you, it will be a very easy kill secure by Mineski. So there's a lot of threat onto the Ezreal and the Pyke. They need to be careful in that 2v2, but let's see, once these teams decide to hit the rift, I am really looking forward to the top lane matchup, because both these laners have been camped throughout the day. Will we see the same trend continue?
But man, Mineski. Okay, so I think let's go ahead and check out Mineski's draft here first, just because things are a little bit more crucial for them, given that they, as much as possible, need to win this last game, just to make things a little bit more feasible as far as clenching that second seed slot come next week. So with the Aatrox, Kindred, Rise, Swain, and Morgana here, what would the ideal objective here be for the Philippine squad towards their win condition?
You know, I'm feeling like smash early game for Mineski. I feel like they should make use of the pick potential that their comp has. Try to use the single target CC that they have, single out a target, and try to make it always a 4v5 on the map and just remove members of Resurgence from fighting.
Which is a possibility, of course. Not only do we have the teleport plays coming towards topside, of course, Exocen on that Rise as well. Can potentially go for those plays, but we'll just have to see. On the flip side, we'll be talking about Resurgence's composition in a teeny tiny bit once we do head on to the Rift. But man, what a day one that we've had so far. A lot of the predictions I feel that I was making, at least, kind of went out the window with the results here.
We're predicting Mineski to smash this group,
but clearly not going to be the case. Just really goes to show that with the rest of the teams that came into this, a lot of these guys stepped up. It's not just Mineski anymore this time around, but of course, as you can see, both sides with their compositions locked in. Who do you guys think is going to be taking it away for this last game for today? Is it going to be hashtag RSG win for Resurgence of Singapore, or is it going to be hashtag MSK win for Mineski? Of course, Resurgence already has a win up their belt. Of course, we would want to end this on a higher note, going 2-1. But of course, Mineski can still potentially deny that. But we'll just have to see as we head on to the Rift in a teeny tiny bit. Well, Summoners, ready or not, here we go, because it's game number 6. Final game of the day for day 1 of the group stage. For Group A, it is Resurgence versus MSK. Only one can come up on the better end of this group towards the end of the day. Is it going to be Resurgence? Is it going to be MSK? Of course, time will tell as we head on to the Rift.
Yeah, you know, I feel like MSK is still yet to show us the results of their Korean bootcamp, Karthik.
I'd have to agree with you, man. I mean, hasn't really been as evident these past 2 games that we have seen of him. But then again, sure, we could kind of attribute it to maybe jitters, but given that this is one of the more crucial stages towards potentially them making it back to Worlds, it's definitely not the best start under any circumstances for any team that enters the group stage.
Yeah, this feels like a do-or-die moment for MSK. You don't want to call it that early, but they are just in that kind of situation. They want to be in control of their fate when it comes to the group stage, and they need to win badly. And for today, this is their last chance to secure anything. Gary just gonna ward the Tri-Brush. Kra not gonna threaten him in any manner.
Speaking of Kra, let's go ahead and okay, a little bit of a hold there. Not really as much damage onto CL, just a bit of a bruise. But what I'd like to touch on, we talked about MSK's composition. Let's go ahead and check out what Resurgence has drafted here and what they'd ideally want to accomplish in this game with the composition that they have.
Oh, of course, I feel like for the side of Resurgence, they're gonna need to use this Ezreal as a bridge towards the late game. They have a hyper carry in the mid lane, Raven's Azir, but you're gonna have to wait for at least 2 to 3 items onto Raven before he really dishes out those massive amounts of damage. But seems like EXO already gonna be chunked out quite a bit here. But yeah, going back to Resurgence, they have quite a lot of win conditions here, especially when it comes to team fights. You have the Gnar ultimate, the Azir for damage. There's actually a lot of ways that Resurgence can take control of this game. As for the side of MSK, it's mostly looking for picks around the map with their 3-man squad of EXO, Gary, and James.
Exactly, and I don't know, man. Let's go with what's happening here towards bot lane, though. Okay, so looks like Gary and James are gonna try to go for quite a heavy push right there. That's gonna be the pull in. Ignite already popped onto Ciela. That will be the arcane shift out of there, though. James in the midst of things, though, taking quite a bit of damage from Kra. Kra in the midst, trying to give chase. James looks like will survive to tell the tale. Low health bars for both sides here, but no casualties for now.
Okay, so 2 summoners burned by the Morgana of MSK, but Ciela does have teleport to get back to lane fairly quickly. Unfortunately, does not have any gold yet for any new items as he was chunked out fairly early. Kra really wants to go for an aggressive move. He knows that James does not have any summoners left.
Is recalling in the brush there the best move, though. So luckily James will be okay. But yeah, that's the tricky part right here. Looking at both ends of the stick. Ciela versus James, both of which took the most damage in those trades. But Raven, meanwhile, on the wrong side right there. Take note, very, very low mana. Gonna be chased down by June. Flash has yet to be expended. Kralix will be joining him, though. Pillar to try to slow down June right there. Gonna chomp away onto that Kindred. Still in constant pursuit. June gonna try to back away. Flash out, and first blood gonna go to the jungler of Resurgence.
Yeah, aggressive flash there by Kralix to secure first blood onto June. A bit of an overextension there. Raven did a good use of shifting sands to gain the shield and survive the burn from the red buff. Unfortunately for MSK, EXO was already chunked from the initial trading against the Azir, so he wasn't able to support his jungler. Good response there by Kralix. He will even steal away one of the camps from June, so good start here by Resurgence. Bad scenario for MSK.
Exactly, and not the best start that they would have wanted in this game, but just that one death. But hopefully doesn't really affect June as we go along in this game. Meanwhile, speaking of which, Kralix gonna go for round 2. Expends a flash straight away from Kaigu, and looks like action here towards the bot lane, though. Gary and James getting some good work right there. Guide straight in onto James. James very, very low on health. Kra gonna try to take him down. Just one more hit, but no, doesn't manage to secure that kill. And that will be the double kill going to Gary of MSK. Well played.
Yeah, good job by MSK, knowing that Kralix was in the top lane. I'll have to hold that thought.
Kaigu, round 2 coming in from the jungler of Resurgence. Kaigu, of course, within the safety of his turret, no problem whatsoever.
Alright, so they saw that the Trundle was topside. That means that Mineski gets to make an aggressive move on the opposite side of the map, knowing that there will be no response from Resurgence's jungler. They find the collapse, they go for the 2v2. No heals in that bot lane. Good lane though.
Looks like a few hits here and there. Pillar will be popped up. Exosen gonna be fine though. Gonna stick to farming out those waves. Gonna try to chase down Raven here actually. Flashes and goes for the move. One more hit though. Krellick's gonna slow him down. Exosen a little bit too overeager. One more hit, down he goes, and that'll be another kill going to the jungler of Resurgence.
Yeah, too much of a miscalculation there by Exos, and he thought he would deal enough damage to the Azir. Unfortunately, he's not able to take down Raven in the mid lane. Gonna burn his flash and really not get anything back.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Way too overeager. Cost him his life. Take note, that was a summoner spell expended as well. So that's going to leave a lot of these lanes vulnerable from the side of Mineski.
Yeah, it's very inviting for Krolix to go gank the flashless laners. Consider that ganking on a jungler such as the Trundle is very situational. It's very hard for him to actually lock down a target unless there's setup from his actual laners that he's ganking. So not having flash on the rise means it's easier for Krolix to go for ganks. But speaking of ganks,
yep, gonna go straight in onto Kra. Unfortunately, not able to reach out. Yeski, another attempt. Fortunately, not able to pick off the support of Resurgence. Kra will be a-okay. Meanwhile, Kaigu gonna make a teleport here towards top side to make sure that it doesn't miss out on too much against Shinsekai.
Yeah, it seems like we're pretty much dead even still in this game, I think no team has really gotten that big of a lead. It's very much on opposite sides of the map though. 2 kills on the side of Mineski are both in the bot lane as for Resurgence. 2 for the Trundle in the jungle. We're still waiting on that big game-breaking play, but the bot lane, Shell once again gets caught.
Yes.
Need to play a bit safer.
Still though, if you're gonna look at the CS difference, although not really as major, but somewhat sizable for Gary in which case, but oh no, Kaigu gonna be popping out that ultimate to prevent Krolix and Shinsekai from any further pursuit. It makes them think twice. Luckily they do back away. Kaigu can breathe a sigh of relief, but is he gonna back away? It looks like he'll be staying under turret for now.
He does burn the ultimate though. I feel like Mineski should wait for the Meganar to time out. With the ward being placed though, I feel like it's pretty obvious to Shinsekai that the enemy jungler is near. Doesn't want to give up any early deaths. You know, Shinsekai is already having a greater game than his earlier one. He hasn't died once in 8 minutes.
Ah, looks like no follow through coming through. Oh man, Shinsekai just really getting a nice push out here. If you're gonna notice though, Kaigu, I like the measures that he took. Immediately going for an early Ninja Tabi just so that he could not really feel the pain as much, but oh man, Set coming in from Raven to go for Exos, and Krolix gonna be in pursuit right here. So is Raven. Looks like the Gnar will be joining the fray as well in case Exos tries to go for some fancy footwork right here. Flash and Boomerang manages to do the trick, and of course another kill will go to Resurgence. Oh, James, just one more hit. Looks like gonna go for the fruits, but no, Shiala gonna make sure that he's not gonna have it. Flashing for the kill. June will try to go for something here, supported by Gary. Ciela unfortunately caught in between both members of Mineski, and he goes down.
Yeah, Cross says, peace out. I'm not gonna be able to save you. You burned your flash to kill the support, but yeah, going back to that mid lane play, Exosen did go down. Note that he did burn his flash earlier to try to pick up the kill onto Raven, so it was a good time for the Azir to go for that aggressive move. It was a very easy setup actually. Once the Emperor's Divide landed, you add the Trundle Pillar as well. You know that there's no escape for Exosen, so good play right there by Resurgence.
Oh, look at that turret though for Mineski. Already less than half its health. So might need to take care of that Mineski, in which case try not to allow any further shove-ins from Resurgence, or else suffer that early casualty, which pretty much opens up the map for the Singaporean squad.
Yeah, Exosen doesn't want the mid lane tower to go down yet. He wants to be able to push the mid lane so that his teammates can't enter the enemy jungle, and that's really what they want to do here. They want to lay down vision in Resurgence's jungle and try to look for picks with the Swain and the Morgana. There's a lot of crowd control available to the members of Mineski that if they're able to single out one target from Resurgence, they could easily burst them down. So really, that's a goal for Mineski right now.
Ooh, A little bit of a balanced wave here between both sides. Not really much okay, so fortunately Binding won't be landing onto Shella, but it does allow Gary and Hamas to get a nice push in here onto both Shella and Prop. Poland will come in, a little bit of damage right there. Looks like they're gonna go for it, gonna go straight under the turret. Will it be enough? Yes indeed, ultimate pops from Hamas for the kill. Looks like Shella gonna try to make up for lost ground right here. Gary almost over Stasis. Welcome. Luckily, Stasis was up for him, and that's going to be a clean, near clean 2-0 for Mineski. Well juggled.
Yeah, so many stopwatches in the bot lane, but Mineski just times theirs a bit better. They're able to execute the dive properly. They pick up the first tower of the game bot lane now. This is scary for the bot lane of Resurgence, and actually Raven as well. That means that the red side jungle of the Singaporean squad can get invaded, but okay, I thought Kaigo would want to go for an all-in, but
this is crazy though. I mean, massive problem for Resurgence right now. A different tune that we're seeing from Mineski's bot lane. Look at Gary right now. 3-0-2 on the Swain. This early on, 10 minutes into the game, heading into 11. So Resurgence definitely have a bit on their plate right now as far as dealing with that bot lane. Everywhere else, okay, I'd say.
yeah, especially with Gary picking up his Rod of Ages very early, it means that he gets to stack it up. Around the 20-minute mark, it will be full, so it's a lot of damage that's going to be coming out from Mineski's bot lane. But, you know, now I'm asking this question, can Gary actually play Marksman? As for today, it feels like he has had more success playing Azir compared to the two Varus games so far.
Actually, now that you mention it, even by history, if you're going to look at his run through the qualifiers that he had right here leading up to Globe Conquerors Manila, but looks like Rift Herald will be summoned by Resurgence. That turret is gonna be long gone. One more hit and boop, down it goes. Red turret down for Mineski. Will they be able to do more though? Looks like Exosen gonna crash down on that Rift Herald. No further benefit for Resurgence. Meanwhile, June and Gary are making a push toward topside, but they have to be careful though. Hamez already being pursued by the members of Resurgence. Looks like Mineski trying to set up a counterattack right here, but won't really find anybody just yet.
Yeah, no real catch onto Hamez. He does have the Black Shield for extra protection. The mid lane tower did go down to the Rift Herald, of course. Raven was already doing so much work in the 1v1 against EXO, but speaking of doing work, he's still fighting the Rise.
Oh, looks like Kralik gonna flash in. That is gonna be the subjugate, slowly taking him down. Exosen, meanwhile, gonna throw some punches right there, but Kralik's realizing that he's caught in a tricky situation. Four members of Mineski collapse onto him, and Kaigu eventually gets the kill. Are they gonna go for more here though? Yes, they can, in the form of the top lane. Gary taking down Shella, now on a rampage.
Yeah, Gary's pretty angry right now. He just went 1v1 and dove the enemy Ezreal 1v1, so seems like Mineski have warmed up here. They're gaining momentum and are securing a bit of a gold lead here. Has caught Kra here.
Yep. Ooh, Dark Binding a little bit off angle. Kra will make it out just fine. But still, definitely starting to pick up the pace here, Mineski. Not as much of a sizable goal difference just yet, though. A lot of room for Resurgence to get back. But as far as where they might struggle, Shella definitely not in the best position on this Ezreal. 1-4 in comparison to his counterpart, who is absolutely beastly right now on the Swain with the standing that he has.
Okay, this is gonna be a 2v1. I don't see a teleport being available on the side of Mineski. Shinsekai is building up his rage bar. Tiger's flash.
Oh no. Meanwhile, that is gonna be the takedown onto Kaigu. Whew. Unfortunately for him, with 3 members of Resurgence on his tail, no real escape. But Exosen actually might capitalize on Shella being behind right here. Shella tries to roll with the punches, but the barrage of damage coming in from Exosen quite a bit. Forced to flash away. He's ticking out right there. Exosen not going to pursue, of course. Doesn't want to get kited by Shella. He'll be fine for now.
Exosen gonna be happy with the flash burn there on the Ezreal. Not that it matters as much. Ezreal does have a free flash on demand, but speaking of flashes.
Yep, Shun of course gonna get caught out right there. Will pop the ultimate. Nobody really in the vicinity from Mineski. Hames tries to help out, but unfortunately, with 4 members of Resurgence on his tail, that was a good done deal, man.
Yeah, good pickup there by Mineski onto the good pickup there by Resurgence onto the jungler of Mineski. They're gonna be able to secure this bot lane outer turret. Actually, the team that's picking up the kills here, considering that Mineski are the team running the pick comp, seems like Resurgence are taking a page out of Mineski's book. Okay, so Resurgence did pick up a few kills. Jun hasn't been that effective in this game throughout the early game. I feel like he's been a bit quiet on his Kindred.
We're kind of yet to see him make an impactful play. It's mostly been the rest of the Messi squad that we've been seeing action from. June, not so much, but hopefully we do see that come into play once we hit those bigger team fights. If we are going to be seeing them, in which case, if ever we see one of those fuller 4v4s, maybe a 5v5 if we're granted that opportunity.
Yeah, he's been quietly farming. When I say quiet, it's more that he hasn't been joining the action. It's been more like he's been quietly building up a CS difference over his matchup. Of course, Kralix has been involved in more fights, so he has more numbers on his KDA.
Definitely reflective. So I think that with the KDA that Kralix has, heavily makes up for where June is kind of shining right now in terms of the creep score difference. 51 to 91. That's a 40 difference. Pretty big.
Yeah. Pretty much a situation that the Kindred wants to be in. You know, I'm waiting for the one big fight that really breaks this game. Why don't because Mineski are just waiting for that to happen. They're trying to secure vision around this river area. If anybody from Resurgence missteps and Mineski are able to find 2-3 picks, I could easily see a lot of towers going down on the side of Resurgence. So Mineski just trying to get a catch onto anyone.
Yep, trying to get a push in right here. Shella and Kra are on the job though. Kra though making a retreat for now though. So luckily Raven is linking towards mid, but we might see a trade-off right here between both top laners finding themselves at the bottom though. Kaigu constantly being pursued, but looks like he'll be fine. Just gonna go over the wall. No harm done.
It's pretty oppressive to deal with. Shinsekai did have the red buff and the black cleaver completed, so Kaigu's just gonna be annoyed in that matchup.
Yeah, of course. With that Gnar on the black cleaver, just gonna shred through almost a mirror of items that we're seeing from both top laners actually. Almost the exact same one with the exception of Kaigu already building up on a crystal right there for additional health.
Now I'm feeling the difference is gonna come in their second item. Even though they both have Ninja Tabi Black Cleaver, I'd like to see Shinsekai buy something like a Frozen Mallet. As for Kaigo, I'm predicting a Sterax Gauge, but looking at the rest of the items, hold that thought.
Looks like round 2 between Kaigo and Shinsekai. Kaigo, of course, realizing he might need to back away. Raven and Kralix, meanwhile, finding themselves in foreign territory along with Kra, along with Shella. This is going to break out into a fight. Looks like they're trying to look for somebody, and that somebody is in the form of Exosen. Are they going to go for it? Shoves in him out. Raven, and of course, RSG going to gladly capitalize on that. Great follow-up, and of course, it's the Azir at the end of the day that gets the kill.
Yeah, it looked way too easy for the side of Resurgence. Exosen not opting to burn his flash to dodge away from the Emperor's Divide. Once again, the Singaporean squad get a pick, get a catch onto Mineski. Mineski will just be forced to back off here.
Meanwhile, Raven gonna make a good push here towards topside. Nobody from Mineski actually able to contest, in which case Resurgence has a pretty good push across the map right here. None of these lanes from Mineski are actually pushing out. And that's pretty problematic. A lot of pressure that Mineski has to deal with right now.
Yeah, it's a growing issue that Exosen can't secure lane priority in one of the side lanes. He's constantly being picked off here by Resurgence because there's always that threat of either Raven or Kra affecting the 1v1 in that lane. So Exosen needs to stop getting picked off here. It's preventing his team from actually making any plays across the map.
What I'd love to see from Exosen is a little bit more restraint on going for the solo maneuvers. I mean, heading into the mid game and hopefully later on into the late game, a lot of the value that I've seen off of the rises that we have seen in Globe Conquerors Manila is through the plays that he could make with his team through the Realm War. So that's something that we're yet to see. Most of the deaths that we saw on Exosen was either him getting ganked by a massive number of members of Resurgence or him trying to push the plays a bit too much. So a little bit more restraint and hopefully coordinate with the team for those plays.
And speaking of making plays with the team, Mineski are beginning to group up here, and they're grouping around their most fed member here, Gary, on that Swade. 4-0 and 2. Completed Leandri's Torment and a fully stacked Rod of Ages. This is when Swain wants to start fighting because he knows that there's nobody on the side of Resurgence that could realistically deal with him in a full-on 5v5. So Mineski want to look for that fight.
Can they, though? Because so far, what I do like about what Mineski has done so far as a preemptive measure, notice the vision towards this bottom side of the map. Quite the heavy vision coming from the side of Mineski, although, of course, in exchange towards top side, where things are a little bit more tricky now that Baron is up. Great defensive vision as well as river vision coming in from Resurgence, so kind of goes both ways here.
If Mineski missed positions here, RSG could easily start this Baron. Azir has a lot of Baron damage. Mineski knows something that is up, but that Baron is going down pretty... Okay, they're gonna burn the teleport and they're gonna back off here. It's one less global for RSG to deal with.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out where what else Mineski has. So luckily it's just that one teleport from Kaigu. What they do still have to work with is a teleport from Exusen and Gary, so long as Kaigu doesn't stray away too much from the rest of the team whenever he is needed. But, ooh, great defense coming in from Resurgence, though. Exusen forced to back it away. Look at the chunk of damage that he took. Leaving the rest of Mineski to try to go for a shove here in that mid lane. Very low health. Might want to be careful, though. That will be the binding landing onto Kra, but he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he does burn the stopwatch, though, so less tricks up Kra's sleeve. Exusen does have teleport if the fight does break out, but it seems like he will be able to save it. No action gonna happen here on the map. Mineski just trying to brute force this mid lane tower. It's kind of becoming a dodge fest in the mid lane. They're doing their best impression of an era match. Now Raven, he's stepping forward.
True. Ooh, looks like they're gonna try to go for Krelix right here. More members of Mineski, but meanwhile, take no Kra, Raven, and Shiela hitting from the back.
Woo!
So much damage! Great set coming in from Resurgence. This is Raven. Look at this. Members of Mineski are toppling one by one. Kaigo is the next casualty right here. Looks like the rest of the RSG dealing with Exosen from the backside. This is going to be very tricky. It might only be Hamas that makes it out alive at the end of the day. Exosen trying to kite around. Look at that, though. Almost getting Kra. Kra will try to make the escape right here. Shinsekai as well. Looks like they're going to back away for their lives here. Exosen going to try to pursue. Looks like that won't be the case, though. But, man, that is going to be a Resurgence win victory at the end of the day, with Baron secured as the cherry on top.
Yeah, one big Empress Divine. Raven gives them the bird. Oh, man. 3-0 in favor of Resurgence means that they're able to secure the Baron as well, only at 22 minutes.
Whew, what is going on? Resurgence definitely in a great position right here with this Baron this early on. I'm wondering how much value that they could get off of this. So Meski need to start recuperating here or else. Let's check out this replay.
So this starts off as a catch onto Kralix, but there's no immediate follow-up. Jun does not deal enough damage since he was exhausted by Kra. Now, this is a massive Emperor's Divide which pushes the members of Mineski out of Lamb's respite. The moment Kra is able to get to execute targets, it's why Resurgence is able to crush this fight. Just the massive ult by the Azir.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and check out the siege that Resurgence is going to start to mount with the Baron buff on their side. Tricky situation. Mineski going to have to establish a solid enough defense just so that Resurgence going to get max value off of this. But a Baron this earlier on, that's going to be a tall order that they have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest here, Arctic. Things are not looking good for Mineski at the moment. They're facing a pretty fed Azir in the mid lane, and it's very difficult for them to actually stop a siege. The wave clear for them is mostly magic damage, and with Baron empowered minions, it's very hard to actually stop both Raven and Ciela from hitting the turret. See, nobody from Mineski can walk up. Even Kaigu, he can't step forward to tank any of the poke for his team. It's very difficult for Mineski to actually defend in this situation. Now Resurgence knows this. They're asserting their dominance right now.
Exactly. Inhibitor gonna be going down right now. And of course, more being taken by Shinsekai here in this bot lane. Kaigu trying to do what he can. Looks like the rest of the members of Mineski will join him in toppling down that Gnar. Instant shutdown onto the top laner of Resurgence. But at what cost? Resurgence, they're going for more in that top lane.
Yeah, that was about the only play available for Mineski to make. And it's actually the maximum they can get considering that Resurgence have so much control over the map. Now, there's no Gnar for the next 30 seconds. If Mineski want to start a fight, this might be their small window, but everyone's almost dead.
Ooh, Hama is looking very low. June might want to back away as well. Resurgence really intent on trying to go for an inhibitor, but you have to be careful. Raven very, very low, dangerously low. In fact, looks like they'll call it quits for now, but still lots of value that Resurgence get. But Mineski managing to hold their ground nonetheless.
Alright, so Resurgence gonna be happy with picking up the mid lane inhibitor and the top lane inhibitor turret. But oh man, Mineski, they had a massive lead in the bot lane. Unfortunately, not really able to find the picks and play around it. The rest of the map just not looking very well for the Filipino squad. Now, there's no neutral objectives for Resurgence to take. So I feel like Mineski can wait out the Baron buff on the members of the Singaporean team. But there's a lot of places Resurgence could go right now. They have huge control basically in every lane.
Exactly.
Is he a teleport?
Huh, is it though? Oh, no! That's going to be Gary trying to teleport his way out of there, but gets caught out by Raven. Great use of the Emperor's Divide to cancel that out. And this is going to put Mineski in an interesting situation. I'm wondering if Resurgence is going to try to siege yet another structure from Mineski's side.
Yeah, there's no more Swain. He's the most fed member on the side of Mineski. Without Gary, there's no real damage coming out. I feel like Mineski needs a lot of prayers, a lot of miracles if they want to pick up a great defense here, but things are just looking so bad for them, and just have to feel for them.
Luckily, the small consolation here is that Emperor's Divide is down, so there's not going to be any fancy sets coming from Raven. But of course, Mineski will inevitably lose out on an inhibitor. Kaigu going to go straight in, gets a 3-man knock onto the members of Resurgence, still in constant pursuit. Exosen tries to follow up with damage. Fortunately, RSG making a nice back away right there, not going to allow Mineski to get an onslaught of damage on them. But speaking of, Kra takes quite a bit, but that goes to say another inhibitor down for Mineski. So still, mission accomplished for Resurgence without a casualty just yet. Will they though?
Yeah, and with the second inhibitor going down, that signals Resurgence to all rotate bot lane. The wave is already prepared. They're just going to go for that free mountain jig for more true damage onto objectives. Easy rotation here by Resurgence. No challenge from Mineski.
RSG going to go straight for this Drake right here. Shinsekai, though, goes straight for Exosen. Looks like we'll back away upon seeing the rest of the Mineski squad trying to go for a response here. But covers Mountain Drake secured by Resurgence. That's going to be pretty good in toppling down more objectives as this game goes along.
I'm looking at Shinsekai's items, and he has a lot of attack speed.
Oh,
he has Wits End built up on top of his Blade of the Ruined King, so a lot of on-hit damage from the Gnar. And consider that he will be building up his magic resist and shredding a bit of Mineski, so the Azir will deal more damage in team fights as long as Shinsekai is able to hit the members of Mineski. It's actually a decent pickup here on the Gnar. It's a bit of a luxury item, but given how far ahead Resurgence is, it's something that he can afford.
True. Very much complimentary to Resurgence right now. Imagine the massive damage Resurgence can deal out once they get that good set onto Mineski. Of course, Mineski gonna go for what needs to be a solid defense on their last inhibitor standing right now. Can they though? Ciela hitting hard onto that turret. Luckily, Resurgence's Baron is no more. So let's see how Mineski will roll with the punches here. Looks like they are going for a bit of a push. Shinsekai though keeping the rest of Mineski at bay with the push that he's exerting in that mid lane. Wave has come in. Will this be enough for Resurgence to topple that turret? Mineski doing what they can to try to go for a defense right here. That's going to be the pull-in onto June. Looks like that's going to be the set. Hamas will try to lock down members of Resurgence with that ultimate. June very, very low though. Has to be careful. Raven very low. Might be the first of all, but no, makes it out alive. Look at those health from Mineski. That's going to be the chase. Exosen tries to back away, but no, just too much. But they're on the chase right now. Shell is still looking very healthy. Gary leading the fray. Look at that damage. Moment of stasis for him. True Shot Barrage has been thrown out. Shella will be taking down Gary. A few more hits, and boom, down he goes. Let's check out the numbers right here. 2 for 2 so far. Mineski, will they be able to defend this inhibitor? Hamas might want to back away. That is going to be the Black Shield to make sure that he doesn't get held down by Resurgence. Kaigu, though, looks like will manage to ward off the members of Resurgence, but look at Shella hitting from the back line. June doing what he can. Very, very healthy. This could be a cleanup onto the members of Resurgence, and down they go. Ace for Mineski.
Yeah, the ace, it means Mineski do have a bit of breathing room here. Their base is definitely well and truly in ruins, but at least for now, Mineski can still survive against Resurgence. Are they gonna go for Baron?
Oh, teleport is coming in. Looks like they're going to try to take that risk at this point. You know, you got to take those high risk, high reward moments right then and there. That's going to be tricky though, because they will get spotted out for a potential take. Could go for a bait.
They want it.
Oh, looks like they're going to go for it. Raven already making his way there. Not really much he can do until such time the rest of Resurgence join in. Looks like trying to go for a poke here and there.
A lot of
Exosen
damage.
taking quite a bit of damage. Dive straight in Emperor's Divide to lock them down. Raven is a god on this Azir. Emperor of Shurima represent. It looks like Resurgence going to be taking this Baron for themselves. Crazy.
That was pretty much the only play Mineski had to make, but it was probably the worst play that they could think of in that situation. The Azir was alive. Baron shreds your defensive stats. The Azir will just destroy you in that pit. You're putting yourselves in such an easy place for Raven to put his soldiers and just destroy you now. Without the Kindred, without the top half of the map of Mineski, this game looks like it's well and truly over. Resurgence gonna put another victory onto their side.
Exactly, and looks like this is gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Gary tries to go for it, but of course with all 5 members of Resurgence, it's a good done deal. It's gonna be end 2-1 for Resurgence. Meanwhile, Mineski unfortunately not gonna rake up a single win for day 1 of the group stage.
That's a well-deserved victory from the Singaporean team. They played really, really well. Were able to find the picks that they needed. The performance from Raven in the mid lane just absolutely styling on Exos, and I'm not gonna say that Mineski were playing well. That was not the best game from them, but still, congratulations to Resurgence. Well-deserved victory from them.
Exactly. Man, I gotta give it to Resurgence. Definitely coming stronger than I've ever seen a Singaporean team these past few, way back when we had the GPL format. But let's go ahead and talk about Mineski here, because 3 games dropped here, even with the highest expectation of them, people saying that this could have been their time. But what do you think ultimately went wrong, and what do they need to kind of correct heading back to the drawing board in hopes of hopefully going 3 straight wins come the next day?
You know, Arctic, I honestly, watching Mineski's game, it kind of feels like whenever they head into the game, they don't have that one objective. Yes, they're gonna get a lead, but they're not able to play around it properly. So I feel like headed into the next day of their round robin, they should have a bit more direction when it comes to which lane they decide to play around, because right now it's just looking like a very, very bad mess for the Filipino first seeds.
I don't know, man. At this point, really goes to show anything can happen. Whatever predictions that you have, toss it away, because this is Globe Conquerors Manila. It's any team's game, and so far, with what we've seen right here, definitely very happy day for both Resurgence as well as Ascension Gaming, coming off towards the upper side of our ladder right here. But of course, ladies and gents, that has been an intense day 1 to our group stage here at Globe Conquerors Manila. When we come back tomorrow, though, we're going to be allow Group A, kind of take a quick break, get their bearings back as we let Group B take the stage this time around. So again, once again to Southeast Asia, thank you for tuning in. We have been your casters. I'm Arctic, with me is Chiso. And of course, this is day 1 of the group stage for Group A of Globe Conquerors Manila. Catch you guys again tomorrow. And as we like to say in the Philippines, as a good evening greeting, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Hello, Gary and Hamas to get a nice push in here onto both Shella and Prop. Poland will come in, a little bit of damage right there. Looks like they're going to go for it. Going to go straight under the turret. Will be enough. Yes, indeed. Ultimate pops from Hamas for the kill. Looks like Shella going to try to make up for lost ground right here. Gary almost overstays his welcome. Luckily, Stasis was up.
Raven, he's stepping forward.
True. Ooh, looks like they're going to try to go for Felix right here. More members of Mineski, but meanwhile, take no crowd. Raven and Shella hitting from the back. Ooh! So much damage. Great set coming in from Resurgence. This is Raven. Look at this. Members of Mineski are toppling one by one. Kai goes in next casualty right here. Looks like the rest of the RSG dealing with Exosen from the backside. This is going to be very tricky. It might only be Hammers that makes it out alive at the end of the day. Exosen trying to kite around. Look at that, though. Almost getting Cry. They'll try to make the escape right here. Shinsekai as well. Looks like they're going to back away for their lives here. Exosen, will this be enough for Resurgence to topple that turret? Mineski doing what they can to try to go for a defense right here. That's going to be the pulling onto June. Looks like that's going to be the set. Hamas will try to lock down members of Resurgence with that ultimate. June very, very low, though. Has to be careful. Raven, very low. Might be the first of all, but no, makes it out alive. Look at those health from Mineski. That's going to be the chase. Exerson tries to back away, but no, just too much. But they're on the chase right now. Shella still looking very healthy. Gary leading the fray. Look at that damage. Moment of stasis for him. Two-shot barrage has been thrown out. Shella will be taking down Gary. A few more hits, and boom, down he goes. Let's check out the numbers right here. 2 for 2 so far. Mineski, will they be able to defend this inhibitor? James might want to back away. That is going to be the black shield to make sure that he doesn't get held down by Resurgence. Tiger, though, looks like will manage to ward off the members of Resurgence, but look at Shella hitting from the back line. June doing what he can, very, very healthy. This could be a cleanup onto the members of Resurgence, and down they go. Ace for looks like trying to go for a poke here and there.
A lot of damage.
Taking quite a bit of damage. Dive straight in Emperor's Divide to lock them down. Raven is a god on this Azir. Emperor of Shurima represent. It looks like Resurgence going to be taking this Baron for themselves. Crazy.
It's really over. Resurgence gonna put another victory on their side.
Exactly, and looks like this is gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Gary tries to go for it, but of course with all 5 members of Resurgence, it's a good done deal. It's gonna be end 2-1 for Resurgence. Meanwhile, Mineski unfortunately not gonna rig up a single win for day 1 of the group stage.